Ever wonder why you feel like a potato that got left in the sun too long every morning? Or maybe you're the kind of person who thinks 4 hours of sleep a night is enough because you read it on a motivational poster with a picture of a lion. Well, strap in, because today we're diving into the wacky world of sleep. How much do you really need? Is it 8 hours? 10? -2? Who knows? Spoiler alert. Scientists do, and they've been arguing about it for decades. So grab your blankie, tuck in, and let's uncover the surprisingly complicated truth about our nightly snooze fest. Introduction to sleep. Hey there, sleepyheads. Ever wonder why some people can sleep for 10 hours straight and still feel tired, while others get by just fine with 5 hours? It's like our bodies have their own secret sleep rules that no one told us about. So, let's dive into the mysterious world of sleep and see what's really going on when we close our eyes. Without sleep, we'd all be walking around like zombies from a bad horror movie. Our bodies and brains need sleep to function properly. When we sleep, our brain is actually hard at work, processing information from the day, repairing cells, and even boosting our immune system. But how much sleep do we actually need? You've probably heard that everyone needs 8 hours of sleep. Well, it turns out that's not entirely true. The amount of sleep you need can vary based on your age, lifestyle, and even genetics. Babies, for example, need a whopping 14 to 17 hours of sleep each day. Meanwhile, teenagers should be aiming for about 8 to 10 hours. But let's be real, most of them aren't getting that. Adults generally need about 7 to 9 hours. But some people might feel great with just 6, while others need a solid 10 hours to function. Now, why do we sleep in the first place? Scientists have been scratching their heads over this for centuries. What we do know is that sleep helps our brains sort through all the stuff we learned during the day. It also helps our bodies recover and stay healthy. When you don't get enough sleep, you can feel grumpy, forgetful, and even have trouble concentrating. Long-term sleep deprivation can lead to serious health problems like heart disease, diabetes, and a weakened immune system. Think about your own sleep habits for a second. Do you stay up late watching videos or scrolling through social media? Yeah, you're not alone. Most of us are guilty of sacrificing sleep for entertainment. But it's important to remember that your body needs rest to recharge. The science of sleep. All right, folks, now that we've covered why sleep is important, let's get into the nitty-gritty science behind it. When you hit the hay, your body doesn't just shut down like a computer. It goes through a series of stages that are crucial for your health. These stages make up what we call the sleep cycle. First up, we have non-REM sleep. This part of the cycle is divided into 3 stages. In the first stage, you're in that half-awake, half-asleep state. Your muscles start to relax, and your heartbeat and breathing slow down. It's like your body is easing into sleep mode. This stage only lasts a few minutes, but it's super important because it helps you transition into deeper sleep. The second stage of non-REM sleep is where you spend most of your night. During this stage, your body temperature drops and your heart rate slows even more. Your brain activity also slows down, but you get these quick bursts of activity called sleep spindles. Scientists think these spindles help you process memories and learn new information. So if you're studying for a test, getting good sleep is a must. The third stage of non-REM sleep is the deepest part. This is the stage that makes you feel refreshed in the morning. Your body does a lot of repair work here, like fixing muscles and tissues and boosting your immune system. If you don't spend enough time in this stage, you might wake up feeling groggy and tired, no matter how long you slept. After non-REM sleep, you move into REM sleep, which stands for rapid eye movement. This is the stage where most of your dreaming happens. Your eyes move rapidly back and forth behind your closed eyelids, but the rest of your body is pretty much paralyzed. This might sound weird, but it's actually a safety feature to keep you from acting out your dreams and potentially hurting yourself. During REM sleep, your brain is super active. It processes emotions, consolidates memories, and even solves problems. Some scientists think REM sleep is when your brain sorts through all the junk it collected during the day, keeping the important stuff and tossing out the rest. It's like spring cleaning for your brain. A full sleep cycle takes about 90 minutes, and you go through several of these cycles each night. In the early part of the night, you spend more time in deep non-REM sleep. which is great for physical recovery. Later in the night, you spend more time in REM sleep, which is crucial for mental and emotional health. So, what happens if you mess with this cycle? Well, pulling an all-nighter or constantly waking up during the night can throw your sleep cycle out of whack. This can lead to a bunch of problems, like memory issues, mood swings, and even a weakened immune system. It's like trying to run a marathon with a twisted ankle. You're just not going to perform at your best. Recommended sleep durations. Now it's time to answer the big question. How much sleep do you really need? The answer is, it depends. Let's break it down by age first. Babies, those little bundles of energy, need a lot of sleep. Newborns should get about 14 to 17 hours of sleep a day. That might seem like a lot, but their bodies and brains are growing like crazy, so they need all the rest they can get. As kids grow older, they need a bit less sleep. Toddlers should aim for about 11 to 14 hours, while preschoolers need around 10 to 13 hours. Once kids hit school age, between 6 and 13 years old, they should get about 9 to 11 hours of sleep each night. Teenagers, despite what they might think, need about 8 to 10 hours. Unfortunately, with early school start times and busy schedules, many teens don't get enough sleep, which can lead to crankiness and poor performance in school. Now for adults, the magic number is generally 7 to 9 hours. But here's the catch. Not everyone is the same. Some people feel great with just 6 hours of sleep, while others need a solid 10 hours to function. This variation is due to factors like genetics, lifestyle, and overall health. For instance, athletes might need more sleep to help their bodies recover from intense training. People with demanding jobs or stressful lives might also require more rest to help their brains recharge. On the flip side, some folks just naturally need less sleep. You might have heard of famous short sleepers like Thomas Edison or Margaret Thatcher, who reportedly thrived on just a few hours of sleep each night. But don't let these outliers fool you. Most of us aren't wired to be short sleepers. In fact, trying to cut down on sleep to be more productive can backfire big time. Lack of sleep can lead to mistakes, accidents, and a whole bunch of health problems. So, it's important to find your own sweet spot and stick to it. Interestingly, sleep needs can also change over your lifetime. Seniors, for example, might need about 7 to 8 hours of sleep, but they often have trouble staying asleep for long periods. They might wake up more during the night, or nap more during the day to make up for it. So, how can you figure out your ideal amount of sleep? One way is to track how you feel after different amounts of sleep. Try going to bed and waking up at the same time every day for a week and see how you feel. If you're waking up tired, try going to bed a bit earlier. If you're waking up before your alarm, maybe you don't need as much sleep as you thought. Remember, quality is just as important as quantity. Even if you're in bed for 8 hours, poor sleep quality can leave you feeling exhausted. Effects of sleep deprivation. But what happens if you don't get enough? Spoiler alert. Nothing good. Sleep deprivation can turn your life into a horror movie faster than you can say, caffeine withdrawal. First, let's talk about the short-term effects. Have you ever stayed up all night cramming for a test or binge-watching a show? The next day, you probably felt like a zombie. That's because your brain didn't get the rest it needed to function properly. You might find it hard to concentrate, remember things, or even make simple decisions. Your reaction times slow down, making tasks like driving dangerous. Fun fact, being awake for 24 hours straight impairs you as much as having a blood alcohol level of 0.10%, which is higher than the legal limit for driving in most places. Now, imagine feeling like that all the time. Chronic sleep deprivation can lead to some serious health issues. Your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure goes up. Your immune system takes a hit, making you more likely to get sick. And don't even get me started on your mental health. Lack of sleep can lead to mood swings, anxiety, and depression. It's like your body and brain are running on empty, and eventually, they're going to break down. One of the most famous examples of sleep deprivation gone wrong is Randy Gardner. In 1964, this high school student stayed awake for 11 days for a science fair project. By the end, he was experiencing hallucinations, paranoia, and memory loss. Sure, he got into the record books, but at what cost? It's a good reminder that our bodies need sleep to function properly, and pushing those limits can have serious consequences. You might think you can catch up on sleep by sleeping in on weekends, but it's not that simple. Sure, a few extra hours might help you feel better temporarily, but it won't erase the long-term effects of chronic sleep deprivation. It's kind of like trying to fix a broken leg with a Band-Aid. It might help a little, but it's not going to solve the problem. Another sneaky thing about sleep deprivation is that it can affect your weight. When you're not getting enough sleep, your body produces more ghrelin, the hormone that makes you feel hungry, and less leptin, the hormone that makes you feel full. This can lead to overeating and weight gain. Plus, when you're tired, you're less likely to exercise and more likely to reach for unhealthy snacks. It's a vicious cycle that can be hard to break. Sleep is also crucial for your brain's ability to process information and form memories. Without enough sleep, you might find it harder to learn new things or remember what you've learned. This is why pulling all-nighters before exams is a terrible idea. You might think you're getting more study time, but without sleep, your brain can't absorb and retain all that information. In short, sleep deprivation is no joke. It messes with your mind, body, and overall health. So, if you're burning the candle at both ends, it might be time to reevaluate your sleep habits. Your body will thank you. Sleep disorders. These are the villains that mess with your precious Z's, leaving you feeling like you've been hit by a truck even after a full night's sleep. First up, we have insomnia. This is probably the most well-known sleep disorder, and it's a real pain. Insomnia is when you have trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, or both. It can be short-term, lasting a few days or weeks, often triggered by stress or a major life event. But it can also be chronic, hanging around for months or even years. Insomnia can turn your bed into a battleground, making you dread bedtime. Then there's sleep apnea, which is like having your own personal sleep interrupter. This disorder causes you to stop breathing for short periods while you sleep. Each pause can last from a few seconds to a minute and can happen up to 30 times or more an hour. Every time your breathing stops, you wake up briefly, often without even realizing it. The most common type is obstructive sleep apnea, where your throat muscles relax too much, blocking your airway. It's often marked by loud snoring, so if your partner sounds like a chainsaw, this might be the culprit. Next, we have narcolepsy, a disorder that turns your sleep-wake cycle upside down. People with narcolepsy experience overwhelming daytime drowsiness and sudden attacks of sleep. Imagine sitting in a meeting, and boom, you're out like a light. Narcolepsy can also cause cataplexy, a sudden loss of muscle control triggered by strong emotions. One minute you're laughing at a joke, and the next, you're on the floor. Restless leg syndrome, RLS, is another annoying disorder. It's exactly what it sounds like. An irresistible urge to move your legs, usually because of uncomfortable sensations like tingling or crawling. These sensations often kick in during the evening or night, making it hard to fall asleep. Moving your legs helps temporarily, but the sensations usually come back, turning bedtime into a nightly game of restless leg tag. Parasomnias are a group of sleep disorders that involve unusual behaviors during sleep, like sleepwalking, sleep talking, or even sleep eating. These behaviors happen during the transition between different sleep stages. Sleepwalkers, for example, can get out of bed and walk around with their eyes open, but they're not fully awake and usually don't remember it in the morning. It can be pretty creepy and sometimes dangerous if they end up wandering outside or trying to drive. So, what causes these sleep disorders? The answer varies. For some, it's genetic. If your parents had sleep issues, you might be more likely to have them too. Other factors include stress, anxiety, and depression. Lifestyle choices like poor sleep habits, lack of exercise, and an unhealthy diet can also contribute. For sleep apnea, being overweight is a major risk factor because extra tissue in the throat can block the airway. Tips for better sleep. Now, let's get into the good stuff. How to improve your sleep. Whether you're dealing with a sleep disorder or just want to feel more rested, these tips can help you get the best sleep possible. Your sleep environment plays a huge role in how well you sleep. Make your bedroom a sleep-friendly space. Keep it cool, quiet, and dark. Invest in a comfortable mattress and pillows. If you live in a noisy area, consider using a white noise machine or earplugs. Blackout curtains can help if your room is too bright. The goal is to create a cave-like environment that signals your body it's time to sleep. Watch what you eat and drink before bed. Avoid large meals, caffeine, and alcohol in the evening. While a nightcap might make you feel sleepy, alcohol can disrupt your sleep cycle, leading to poor quality sleep. Caffeine, on the other hand, can stay in your system for up to 8 hours, making it harder to fall asleep. Stick to light snacks if you're hungry before bed. Exercise is great for your sleep, but timing matters. Regular physical activity can help you fall asleep faster and enjoy deeper sleep. However, try to avoid vigorous exercise close to bedtime, as it can make you feel too energized to sleep. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate exercise most days, and try to finish your workout a few hours before you hit the hay. Manage your stress. Easier said than done, right? But seriously, stress and anxiety are major sleep disruptors. Find healthy ways to unwind and cope with stress. This could include practices like meditation, deep breathing exercises, or yoga. Journaling before bed can also help clear your mind of worries and make it easier to fall asleep. Limit naps, especially in the afternoon. While naps can be a great way to catch up on missed sleep, long or late naps can interfere with nighttime sleep. If you need a nap, try to keep it to 20-30 minutes and take it earlier in the day. Get plenty of natural light during the day. Exposure to sunlight helps regulate your circadian rhythm, making it easier to fall asleep at night. Spend time outside during the day, and if that's not possible, consider using a light therapy box. Reserve your bed for sleep and intimacy only. Using your bed for activities like watching TV, eating, or working can make it harder for your brain to associate it with sleep. Train your brain to know that bed means sleep. Finally, if you can't fall asleep after 20 minutes, get out of bed and do something relaxing. Lying in bed awake can create anxiety around falling asleep, making it even harder to drift off. Try reading a book or listening to soft music until you feel sleepy. Myths and facts about sleep. Now it's time to debunk some common sleep myths and drop some surprising facts that might just blow your mind. Get ready to impress your friends with your newfound sleep wisdom. Everyone needs 8 hours of sleep. This is probably the most well-known sleep myth. While 8 hours is a good average, the truth is that sleep needs vary from person to person. Some people feel great with just 6 hours, while others need a solid 10. It's all about finding what works best for you and sticking to it. Listen to your body. Older people need less sleep. Many people believe that as you get older, you need less sleep. While it's true that older adults often sleep less, it's not because they need less sleep. Changes in sleep patterns and health issues can make it harder to get the same amount of sleep. Seniors should still aim for 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep each night. You can catch up on sleep during weekends. Busted. You might feel a bit better after sleeping in on the weekend, but it won't fully make up for the lost sleep during the week. In fact, irregular sleep patterns can mess with your body's internal clock. It's better to maintain a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends. Watching TV or using your phone helps you relax before bed. Nope. The blue light emitted by screens can interfere with your brain's production of melatonin, making it harder to fall asleep. Instead, try reading a book, listening to calming music, or practicing relaxation techniques to wind down. Snoring is harmless. Sure, snoring can be annoying, but it can also be a sign of a serious sleep disorder called sleep apnea. If you or someone you know snores loudly and frequently, it might be worth checking with a doctor. Sleep apnea can lead to serious health issues if left untreated. Now, let's dive into some fascinating sleep facts. Fact 1. Humans are the only mammals that willingly delay sleep. Think about it. Animals sleep when they're tired, but humans will stay up late for all sorts of reasons. Work, entertainment, socializing. We're the only species that fights sleep on purpose, even though we know it's crucial for our health. Fact number 2. Some people dream in black and white. Around 12% of people dream in black and white. Before color TV was a thing, the percentage was even higher. Most people today dream in color, but those who grew up with black and white TV often report monochrome dreams. Sleepwalking is more common than you think. About 4% of adults and up to 17% of children sleepwalk. Sleepwalking usually occurs during the deep stages of non-REM sleep. It can involve simple activities like walking to the bathroom or more complex behaviors like cooking or even driving. Fact 4. You can't catch up on sleep. Once sleep is lost, you can't truly catch up on it. While extra sleep might help you feel better, the long-term effects of chronic sleep deprivation can't be erased with a few good nights' rest. Consistent quality sleep is key to maintaining health and well-being. Fact number 5. Lack of sleep can make you gain weight. Remember how we talked about ghrelin and leptin? When you don't get enough sleep, your body produces more ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and less leptin, the hormone that makes you feel full. This can lead to overeating and weight gain. So, if you're trying to stay fit, don't skimp on sleep.